Welcome back to COSU. I really enjoyed that conversation with Chris Gerwick. So many dedicated people in the military community here all along coast of Mississippi, especially at the Seabee base in Keesler and Stennis Space Center, and the Coast Guard, as I mentioned. So many. We're so lucky to have such a strong presence here of the military in coastal Mississippi. Okay, so now we're going to shift gears. It's kind of a Seabee day, but what's interesting about my upcoming conversation with Shelby Waldron is we're literally going to also talk about Seabee Day. But we'll come back to that in just a second. Before we go any further, let's welcome Shelby Waldron, who's the marketing manager of the Morale, Welfare, and Recreation Department. We're going to learn more about what that is here in a second. But welcome to COSU, Shelby.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's great to see you and great to meet you. So people can know what we're going to do. I want you to tell what the department is, but then I want to take a step back and learn a little bit more about you. Where did you come from, et cetera? But what is that department?
So Morale, Welfare, and Recreation, also referred to as MWR, we do so much on this base. It's pretty expansive. I call us the fun people because we're responsible for the special events that go on the base. We run the tickets and travel office. We run outdoor rental, the fitness center, our Liberty program, which is for our single sailors, geo bachelors, unaccompanied. We run that. We also have our Child Development Center, our Youth Center, so the kids programs. MWR is responsible for Auto Skill Center. We have the grill on base. We also run, which is fantastic. The food is really good. So we have our hands in a little bit of everything, but the events on the base we're responsible for as well. So it's a lot of fun.
So where did you grow up?
So I am from a little bit of everywhere. My dad is retired Marine Corps. He did 30 years. So grown up a little bit of everywhere. But I went to high school in Northern Virginia, just south of Washington, D.C.
As I mentioned to you off the air, people who work in the military community, whether they're actually part of the military or civilians who work in the military community, almost without fail, there's some connection in their family to the military. You just kind of naturally drawn. But you actually were working toward a PhD actually in psychology. You've gotten pretty far along, and decided to switch gears. So tell me about that transition in your life.
It was a transition. So yes, I was working on my doctorate in clinical psychology, and actually my focus area and area of interest was on veterans health. Telehealth specifically is what my dissertation was on. So working in the VA was something that I had thought about doing, was really interested in kind of that military tie there. And then I decided that I needed something a little different because psychology is very challenging, especially doing therapy. And I thought maybe I could use those skills to do something different. So I took a little bit of a break and kind of stumbled into marketing, actually. And it's been fantastic. I love what I do. And the psychology actually is very useful. It comes in handy a lot to have that background.
It really does. Of course, I spent a career in media, and marketing was always, important to us, not just in terms of marketing our company, but we were in the advertising business, both from a digital perspective and print perspective. So, I really understand what you mean, that psychology is such an important thing to have, your training as it relates to behavior and what causes people to act on something and not act. And especially, I think about in your role now, because it seems to me that your role now, while it may be marketing manager, it seems like there's a lot of hands-on, a lot of looking at people in the eyes and helping them and sort of giving them what they need. So it's a multifaceted position, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It really is about understanding our customers. In order to be able to provide the events and the services that they really need. I mean, because the customer comes first. That's why we do what we do and why we love what we do. They're very important to us. We really value our customers. So understanding their needs, of course, is first and foremost. So if you can do that, then, you can not just from a marketing perspective, but also from a program perspective, really give them what they need and, improve the quality of life and the experience. And that's really important. So definitely.
You actually worked your way into a key marketing role in the casino industry. And my experience with the casino industry, because obviously I've worked with them for most of my career, has been that people who go into the industry rarely leave it. They once they get in, it's like they're there. That's what they do now.
Yes.
You left though, so tell me a little bit more about what is it like not to be in that business anymore, and now that you're in the role here at the Seabee base, what's that like?
Yes, and it's funny that you say that about the casino, because that's also the running joke in the casino is once you are here, you're not going anywhere. So I actually have left the casino twice. This is the second time. I left back in 2016, actually, very briefly, and went to New Hampshire for a different position. And when I came back, I ended up back in the same casino because they needed a digital marketing person, and I had that experience. So I left and came back. But ultimately, I've always wanted to be in a position working, for the government in some kind of way. It feels like my way of giving back and serving, just based off of, my family history and that I really value our military, their families. I know what it's like to be part of a military family. And I always wanted to give back to that community. And so this is my way of getting to do that. And so not only do I love what I do because it's a lot of fun, because it's something different every single day, but it also feels like I'm helping people and giving them something that's valuable.
Well, that's good for you. And as I have talked about on this show many times, Chris and I alluded to it just a second ago, but CBs are deployed all over the world. I mean, they come through here and they're literally doing mission-specific work. They're doing humanitarian efforts around the world. And so, I mean, there are stresses that come from that. And so to the extent that you guys can do your job and help them feel at home and hear them when they need to be heard, and just to create a better quality of life while they're here, or maybe they get deployed somewhere else and then come back here. But that's important, and I appreciate that you're willing to do that. So we're going to shift gears now, but I want to make sure we get some of these key dates out of the way first, and we'll come back to the key dates in a second. But you do have Seabee Day coming up on April the 23rd. Tell me more about why this is an important event.
So Seabee Day is the biggest event we do for the year, and we're really excited because it's been 5 years since we've been able to do this event. The last one was in 2017. And this year specifically is the 80th anniversary of the Seabees. So that is very just fantastic in and of itself. It's also the 80th anniversary of NCBC Gulfport. So we have tied Seabee Day in to the Seabee reunion that happens every year. So that's why it's on that particular date. It is an open event for the community, which also is a rare occurrence. It's the one time of the year that we are able to do that. So if you don't have base access, you're able to come see what the Seabees do here, get the live demonstrations, meet the people who are doing these things, and really kind of get a better understanding of what exactly it is that they're doing and the mission, and to really celebrate what that mission is.
Yeah, it's a multifaceted. I see, there's a lot about the displays and demonstrations specific to so many aspects of what CBs are up to, but then there's obviously entertainment and things for kids to do. You have a CB reunion. Over 300 CB veterans are going to attend. There's a lot of moving parts to this, isn't there?
There are, but it's absolutely worth it. It's so much fun just to see. This will be my first Seabee Day, but I have heard a lot about it, and having talked to people who have participated in Seabee Day in the past, when we told them that it was coming back, everybody has been so excited about, this particular event and, what can we do, and really looking forward to it just because it is such a fun event. But yeah, there are a lot of moving parts, which is what makes it such a fun event, because there's a little bit of something for everybody.
Last held in 2017, over 4,500 people attended. Yes. I bet it's almost impossible to try to get your arms around how many would attend this year. It's a hard number to get to, isn't it?
It is. And, it depends on a lot of factors. But we're hoping for a really great turnout. We are, looking to hit that number again, hopefully. We're really optimistic. Like I said, we've got some great live entertainment, great displays. We've got some great sponsorships, vendors, all kinds of things are going to be there. So it's a really great event, and we're really excited and looking forward to having everybody.
This is Shelby Waldron. She's the marketing manager for the Morale, Welfare, and Recreation Department at the Seabee base. And we're talking about upcoming Seabee Day 2022 on April the 23rd. When we come back, we'll talk about, the types of people who should come and, more about what to expect. So we'll see you after this break. Welcome back to Coast View. When I look back on my time as a leader in the community, working at the Sun Herald for 27 years, I remember all the opportunities I had, whether it be through appreciation, various military appreciation events. Some of the most significant events in the nation were held here at the Mississippi Coliseum annually. The opportunity I got to visit with commanders across the coast of Mississippi and to go on to the Seabee base, for example. We published the Seabee News and the Keesler News at the Sun Herald for many years. And so it brought me to the base on a regular basis. And for people who have not been to the base, I think it would be really important to go. What a great opportunity for your kids to really understand what's happening. Great opportunity for you to understand the significance of the Seabees and what they're up to and the kind of equipment that they're using, their mission critical work literally around the world. It's quite amazing. And I think you should strongly consider participating in the Seabee base. We're having a conversation with Shelby Waldron, who's the marketing manager for Morale, Welfare, and Recreation Department. I love the name. It's a hard name to get in your head, and it's a long name, but Morale, Welfare, and Recreation, it is one of those names that you kind of need all three of those characteristics because you do a little bit in each one of them, don't you?
Absolutely. Yep. We do a little bit of everything. And really, the name encompasses exactly what it is: morale, welfare, and recreation. We are here to take care of our customers, our military personnel, and their families, because they're both equally as important. So, we really take that very seriously.
So it's a great opportunity for families to come because, as I pointed out, that there will be things for kids to do. They'll be fascinated with a lot of the equipment that's on display there. They'll enjoy talking to the CBs and the other people who'll be part of this. There'll be over 20 vendors there with food and all of that. And I'm really interested in what you guys did sort of logistically to make it so that people can attend in different ways. So how are the various ways that people can attend?
So if you have base access already, you're able to get on base, you are welcome to just come on down. We will have parking areas set up near where the event is. You just walk over a bridge. If you're familiar with the base, parking is going to be on the grinder. If you're not familiar with the base, don't worry. There will be plenty of people to direct you and lots of signage. If you don't have base access and you want to come, which I highly encourage you to do, we will actually be busing for free people without base access to the base from Milner Stadium. So you would go to Milner, park your car. Parking is free. The event is free outside of if you want to purchase something from our vendors, of course. So you would go to Milner, park for free. There is a security check there. So, they're going to be checking, make sure you don't bring any kinds of illegal weapons or weapons of any kind, that sort of thing. So security check there. We'll put you on the bus. The bus brings you onto the base, drops you off at the event. We will also have greeters on the bus to kind of tell you, what to expect and kind of welcome you to NCBC. And then buses will then take you, afterwards or, whenever you're done back to Milner. So it's really
there'll be a loop of buses all day long. Yeah.
So
for people who don't know where the base is, if you're going down Highway 90, you take your north turn on Broad Avenue, go all the way to the end of Broad Avenue. And Milner Stadium actually is a good location because literally we're talking about a very short drive around the corner and you get to the Seabee base. So it made sense that you would take advantage of that parking there, didn't it?
Absolutely. And that we've done that in the past CB days. We've bussed people in and it's worked really well just because it's easier for them. And, they kind of get, because we do have hosts on the buses too, they get a little bit of that information, that history, that interaction with, the staff and stuff. So that's really, we try to make it as easy as possible for people.
So as you pointed out, 2022 is the 80th anniversary, not only of the the Navy Seabees, but it's also the anniversary of the Construction Battalion Center in Gulfport. So you're going to kill a lot of birds with one stone with this one, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. We would have done it either way, just because we love what we do. But yeah, so it's really exciting to have both of those anniversaries at the same time. I think it's, the base here does a lot. The service members do a lot. We're, a big part of the community. We really love our community and their support and feel very supported by them. So it's a way to kind of get to show them what we do, but also, they get to show support. We get to show support for their support, kind of goes back and forth.
Saturday, April the 23rd is from 12 o'clock noon to 5.
Yes.
And again, if you don't have security clearance already, no problem. You'll park it at Milner Stadium. They'll take you over there, go through a little security check, and then you can leave when you want to because there'll be a loop of buses that bring people back. So listen, it's been a pleasure getting to know you better, and good luck on your upcoming CB Day.
Thank you so much. It was great to be here.
This has been Shelby Waldron, the marketing manager for the the Morale, Welfare, and Recreation Department at the Seabee base. I really enjoyed today. Great focus on military. Have a great day, and we shall see you tomorrow.